Hey guys, welcome. In this latest video, what we are going to discuss is three things that most people find excruciatingly difficult to do. These are not crazy stunts that's going to put you into trouble, but these are three simple things that most of us encounter in our day-to-day lives. But still, it's something that we all struggle with. So, without further ado, let's get into it and see what these three things are. Okay, guys. So the first thing is saying no. Many people find it difficult to say no because we feel like we are not being nice, or maybe it sounds like a bad thing to say, right? But saying no is important because one thing is time. Why do people place a lot of value on commodities like gold and silver? Because it's scarce. So just like that, our time is also scarce, so we should value our time. In addition to that, as human beings, we have to protect ourselves. We need to protect our physical and mental well-being, and for that we need to set proper boundaries. So as kids, when we are playing a game, kids used to have rules, right? Who wins and who loses, whose turn it is to play, and so on. Because if there wasn't any rules, it would be toxic. So similarly, in adult relationships also, it's going to turn to be toxic if you don't have proper boundaries and if you say yes for everything. Because what's going to happen is there's going to be one-sided toxic relationships that's going to hurt the other person in the end. So because of that, setting boundaries and saying no is essential. Also, there's a deeper psychological reason behind it. Because as children growing up, we are rewarded for being good children, right? So adults give us praise, recognition, and rewards if we behave well and if we do things. And our mind is sort of tuned into, expecting a positive reward if we say yes to something. So because of that, naturally people tend to say yes to things as they grow up. But this is not exactly healthy because you can't say yes for everything. So when I say yes for something, what I try to understand is why I am saying yes to that. So that gives me more perspective why I'm doing that particular thing. Okay, next, apologizing when you're wrong. So this is something I think most of us find okay, maybe. I mean, I don't know. But when you are at wrong, sometimes it can be a bit difficult to admit and come to that place where you want to tell the other person that you're actually sorry. But what people get wrong about this is they feel like this is something that they're doing for the other person. But when actually, when you really think about it, it's something that you do for both um, the the person who deserves the apology as well as the person apologizing. Because um, when you apologize to someone, it kind of changes the relationship dynamic, and it gives the opportunity for the wrongdoer to let the other person understand his point of view, why he did that. So it should be something actually that you do for yourself if you are the wrongdoer. And however, for an apology to be effective, it should be sincere. What I mean sincere is that the person who did something wrong should actually feel for the other person and respect the feelings and sort of the feelings and what the other person has gone through because of that action. So when you're doing an apology, it should be sincere and it should make the other person actually feel that you regret it and you're actually apologizing instead of just words, because words are way more powerful when you have some sort of emotion attached to it, and when you actually really feel bad that you have done something wrong and then you apologize and it becomes more sincere. And the other thing is it's uh, it's something that really fixes relationships because until someone formally apologizes, it seems like things are unsettled. Because once an apology is given, the other person feels like, okay, now this person has come to terms with my feelings and they respect me, and that's a sign of showing that you really care and showing that you really relate to the other person's feelings. So because if you don't do that, it even if the behavior changes in the long term, things are really not settled. So words are magic. There's a quote by Freud in one of his lectures. I will just put it in this video, which is really powerful, and it can change how people relate to each other. Lastly, last but not least, admitting that you don't have all the answers. So if you ask a kid a question, if they don't know the answer, they will tell that they don't know the answer. But if you ask that same question, maybe a more difficult one, from an adult, the response might vary. Maybe the adult might actually try to answer the question. What has changed between that time period? It's amazing that kids could be like, I really don't know the answer for that. But adults might actually struggle to answer that, thinking that it would make them feel ashamed or less worth, in that scenario, in the point of view of others, right? So what has happened between that time when you have turned from a child to an adult? Why have you been not been able to admit that you don't have all the answers? It's something to do with the way we grow up, I think. Because when we are growing up, we are expected to get everything right, always have the right answers, because if you don't have the right answers, especially relating to maths or some sort of academic subject, you get punished, right? So there's this very negative emotion attached, for not knowing something, because you kind of fear unconsciously that you might be punished or you might seem less worth. So that's possibly the reason why most of us finds it difficult to admit that we don't have all the answers. This kind of reminds me of this story of this doctor who went to a Zen master to learn Zen, but while that Zen master was pouring tea into the cup, this doctor went on and on about all the things that he know about Zen Buddhism, but the master didn't stop pouring to the cup, and the cup starts overflowing. So that is to sort of depict that you need to come to a place where your cup is empty, and that there's so many things out there that you don't know, and you need to have that sort of growth mindset. To have that growth mindset, you need to come to that place where you know that you don't have all the answers, and you're willing to learn and grow. Okay, guys, so there you go. 3 things. Are you brave enough to do these 3 things? But more than being brave enough, I think most of us have already encountered these 3 things. It's just that I wanted to give some more perspective into this. I hope you'll enjoy this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe, so that I can create more content in the future. And if there's anything that you think I should improve, please do put it down in the comments, and I'll have a look. And thank you guys for watching. See you again then. Till then, cheers.